a lot of times working with metal, people will be on their mark. They'll get their stud on their mark. As they drive their screw, they'll get bounce off, okay, from driving through the metal, and the stud will move. Or it will make its way through the leg of the track and then push the stud off. And then they get bouncing and it doesn't line up. Now, especially if you're going to be working with 18 gauge, you could get bounce off. But a simple tool to use is a pair of locking C-clamps, okay? What you'll do is you'll take your locking C-clamp, okay? And you'll get in here at the stud, either down low, up high, okay? You'll lock down your stud, okay? Now you're locked into place. The other thing is that if you're reaching in, like people will hold the stud so that it doesn't move, which can be quick, but you could run the screw through your finger. But if you're using a locking C-clamp, all you need to do, boom. So next thing we do, right? We wanna plumb up our stud. Perfectly plumb. Boom. Okay, we'll lock down over here. And the other thing is, I don't need to have a hand up here and pulling off. The clamp is holding the stud for me. So it makes it easier to drive your screws.
It's like an extra pair of hands.
It's a clamp. A lot of people don't realize that there's tools like this to help to make things easier, go smoother. Metal is much more rapid in assembly than wood, number one. Plus, if you're using inexpensive tools like locking C-clamps, there's only like $14 for these smaller pairs. Some of the larger sizes could be $25 or more, depending on the heads, the face. But when you need that extra set of hands, or when you need to make sure your finger's not getting hit by screws, these come in handy. I mean, they come in very handy. Let's move on. Okay, we're gonna get our level. So now we're locked in place. We're plumbed up, right, on edge. Okay, all we do is drive our screws. We're locked in, right? We want to lock in both sides of the stud because, like we talked about when driving the screws for framing, when you're drywalling, if one leg or one side of the stud's not locked in, as you're drywalling, you could go through your sheet of drywall, okay? Then as that screw hits the stud, you could get bounce and you'll think you're shooting blanks. You're not hitting your stud. So if you're locked in on both sides of the metal stud, you could be tempted to not screw in. Like in a situation here where we can't get our screw gun, okay? Up here, we can't get our screw gun in because we have a piece of unistrut, right? What I'd suggest to do is, number one, okay, we're square here. Let's make sure we're square here. And I know some of you are gonna go, wow, that's way too much, that's not necessary. Listen, this is the deal. There are instances where maybe it's not necessary to use a square, but quite frankly, for the people that are watching this that are thinking about maybe doing a renovation on their own, that are considering metal over wood because it's faster, some instances it could be cheaper, it could be a lot less labor. Let's just say you're a condo owner and you're going to be doing a renovation in a condo unit that's up on the 30th floor of your building. Imagine trying to transport wood studs. Steel, metal is much more compact. They bundle easier. It's easier to get it from the truck on ground level up to the 30th floor. For those people that are considering this is a how-to almost. How to make your installation go quicker, how to make your installation go faster, how for your installation to be better. And when we're doing things like making sure all of our studs are tied in on both sides and they're perfectly square, we're not saying, it's the next guy's problem. We're not saying, hey, let the drywallers deal with it. Okay, we're taking the extra time and effort to make sure that the installation is perfect for the next guy to come in and do his job. What you can do in an instance like this, where something's in the way, you could screw from the inside out so that you're locked in. I have a drive set up for any screwing duties that I might encounter. We got a spare, look at that. Hashtag just a tip. If you know what I'm talking about, leave it down in the comment section below, or tag us in your video or picture so we can share it in our stories. Here's the deal. We're gonna use this long 6-inch bit. Okay? We're gonna try to get up in here to screw this in, to tie in the other side of this metal stud, right? The thing is that this bit's not magnetized, so we could drop our screw. I mean, the hold is pretty good, but wow, it is. Look at that. It is kind of magnetized. Not coming off. It is working pretty good. But cool thing is, in Makita's new XPS line of bits, they have this little magnetizer, and you can pop this magnetizer on here. There might be one problem with this though. Because it's so tight up here, we might not be able to get in here. I will say this. It looks as though it will work. Let's try it. So we actually did drive our screw. We got it through our track and into our stud. So we're tied in at the bottom. We're tied in at the top. Take off our clamps. You'll see that there's no flex. As we're driving those drywall screws, we don't have to worry about bouncing this stud, especially with lower gauge metals like 20 gauge and especially 18 gauge. It's tied in properly. We're thinking of the drywallers. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a header in here to pick up this one stud, this one cripple, okay? So we have a width of right around 27 inches. And what we're going to do is we'll add the width of the two studs. We're going to create a 3-inch leg on both sides to attach to these members. All right, so you can see we have our two legs. We're going to tie this into our studs, okay? And we're able to pick up this cripple stud over our doorway. All right, boom, we're perfectly level for our intents and purposes. I'm gonna go through the other side. We're gonna repeat the process. Okay. If there was an instance where we couldn't fit this head in here, I got a little trick for you. What you can do is you can get one of these inexpensive magnetizers. It has two sides. As you can see, this bit already has some magnetization to it. Now, for some reason, if you didn't want any magnetization, this has a demagnetize function to it. All you'd have to do is pass this demagnetizer portion over your bit. And now it's not magnetized anymore. See, look. You take your magnetizer, you pass it over your bit. The more times you pass it over your tip, the more magnetization you will get. And as you can see, now we have a more magnetized tip. We're gonna hold our screw, and we don't have that bulky head to it. And here's the deal. According to the interwebs, they say that, especially on impact drivers, when you use a magnetizer like this, on impact drivers, because of the concussive force, the tip will lose its magnetization rapidly. So here's the deal. You might need to, if you need this skinny bit like this, you're gonna be using it like this, throughout the day, you might need to carry this magnetizer with you and continue to magnetize throughout the day. We'll lock ourselves down. No, it didn't.
I got it.
Did you see that? I got him, but there was a problem with that.
Tried to bend in, yeah, he pulled it in though. Deflection.
No, you know what it was? For real? I cut more space in the stud. Okay. Here's the reality of this. Definitely not gonna be able to get in over there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just screw in from this side. Okay. So once again, we're not gonna have any flex in this member when we're trying to drywall. They're all straight. We're thinking of the next guy who's gonna come in and put up the sheetrock. Here's the deal. The better the framing, the better and easier the drywall goes up. The better and easier the drywall goes up, the easier it is for the finishers to come in and finish the drywall. The better the finishing looks, the easier it is, and you have that buttery smooth paint job that goes up after, or wallpaper or whatever it is. If you like having a job that's perfect from start to finish, smash the like button. Also, leave it down in the comment section below. When you're working with metal studs, do you use C-clamps or do you just muscle it with your fingers and your thumbs? Do you prefer using metal over wood or vice versa? We want to know. Leave it down in the comment section below. With that, I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you all on the next one. Video's over, but I know you want more. So this is how you're going to get it. First thing you need to do is pretend you're this guy. And you're here at the birthplace of freedom. Now ring that bell like it's 1776 and let all notifications through. What? You're not subscribed yet? Well, smash this button here. After that, watch this video here, and maybe over here. See you later.